Finally. Something we have in common.
Let's see. What have we got?
Squadron, take it!
Captain Walker, we're all that's left of the damn 33rd. We surrender, sir. Dubai is yours.
Where is Conrad?
Where he's always been. Upstairs, waiting for you.
So this is all that's left.
Well done, Walker. You've done what the storm could not. Destroyed the damn 33rd. Do you feel like a hero yet? Please, come in. Now that you're here, I want to ask you a question. What did you think when you arrived in Dubai? When you'd seen what I had done, did you think it the work of a madman?
Yeah. I thought you'd lost your goddamn mind. Or I hope that's what happened.
Oh yes, that would have made things easier. But I wasn't that lucky.
You sure about that?
I assure you, I'm as sane as you are, Captain.
Is that so? Let's get this little bit of intel over here.
Jeremy, someday people will tell you about your father. For that, I'm sorry. I love you.
I'm upstairs, Walker.
I'll be right there with you.
When you're done rifling through my things, please join me.
Yes, I will do that.
Let's not prolong this any more than we have to. When you're ready, there's something up here I'd like to show you.
Sure thing, just a second, I need to grab intel. I think it's this stairs. I hope I'm not wrong, otherwise I'm gonna have to replay this whole thing. Here we go. Let's see.
I've been forgetting when I am. You should know you're always there. And keep repeating the next time, next time. You won't. I hate this lie the most. Mostly I just hate the want.
Pretty fucking good poem, Conrad. Props on that. And we can already get a glimpse of what it is that Conrad wants to show us. Let's take a closer look, shall we?
No matter how hard I tried, I never could escape the reality of what happened here. That was my downfall. There, finished. I hope you like it.
What the hell is going on?
Your eyes are opening for the first time. It hurts, doesn't it? Go on. What do you think?
You did this.
No, you did. Your orders killed 47 innocent people. Someone has to pay for your crimes, Walker. Who's it going to be?
John? Is that you?
You tell me.
I'm done playing games, John.
I assure you, this is no game. It seems that reports of my survival have been greatly exaggerated.
This isn't possible.
Oh, I assure you, it is.
How?
Not how. Why? You were never meant to come here.
We have our orders. Leave the city, radio command from outside the storm wall. They send in the cavalry, we go home.
What happened here was out of my control.
Was it? None of this would have happened if you just stopped. But on you marched. And for what?
We tried to save you.
You're no savior. Your talents lie elsewhere.
This is your fault, goddammit!
Stop right there, Lugo.
He wouldn't listen!
We didn't have a choice!
He turned us into fucking killers!
This isn't my fault.
It takes a strong man to deny what's right in front of him. And if the truth is undeniable, you create your own.
What the hell happened?
I don't know, he just stopped moving.
Walker, snap out of it!
I get it. We have to choose.
The truth, Walker, is that you're here because you wanted to feel like something you are not. A hero.
Lugo!
You left me to die!
I'm here because you can't accept what you've done. It broke you.
Colonel? Colonel, please.
What's going on, Walker?
It's Conrad. He did it. All of it.
You needed someone to blame, so you cast it on me. You're a dead man. I know the truth is hard to hear, Walker, but it's time. You're all that's left, and we can't live this lie forever. I'm going to count to 5, then I'm pulling the trigger.
You're not real. This is all in my head.
Are you sure? Maybe it's in mine. 1.
No. Everything. All this. It was your fault.
If that's what you believe, then shoot me. 2.
I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
No one ever does, Walker. 3. 4. Is this really what you want, Walker? takes a strong man to deny what's in front of him.
Stronger than you were.
Whatever you say, Walker. No matter what happens next, don't be too hard on yourself. Even now, for all you've done, you can still go home. Lucky you.
What now, sir?
Huh?
The men are asking. What do we do now?
We complete our mission.
And what mission would that be, sir?
Just get me a goddamn radio. This is Captain Martin Walker, requesting immediate evacuation of Dubai. Survivors. One too many.
Oh, this is awkward. Usually, I like to allow the credits to play out, as it tends to give a nice closing feeling to the game's narrative, and it is a place for a development team to throw out one last hoo-ha to their aesthetic decisions by picking a nice song to send us off with, often something emblematic of the whole experience. Well, Yager decided it would be cool to add Jimi Hendrix to the credits, and the music industry fucking detests Jimi Hendrix apparently, because for the first time ever, having done about 400 videos for this channel so far, I got a copyright block preventing the video to be seen on all territories. I get you, music industry. I'm not a huge fan of Hendrix either, but maybe that was a little bit too far, huh? Anyway, since this is the quandary that we now find ourselves in, I have to kill about 10 minutes of silence while the names of all these nice people scroll up on the screen. Thankfully, as it so happens, I have a few things left I could say about this game, so let's get into it. Let me preface this by saying, once again, that I enjoy this game a lot. I find the original music for it to be excellent, the story to be mostly well written, and the characters to be likable, which is a contentious point. I have a particularly affinity for Adams, who I find to be a very apt audience surrogate character. Even though we control Walker, Adams is the one that I identify with the most. He is forced to follow orders that he disagrees with in concept, but doesn't quite question, arguably because he's tied to the chain of command. He is an extension of Walker in many ways, just as Lugo often acted as the rational, moral side, a side that perished in the conflict, leaving Walker that much more damaged and empty. Adams was quick to agree. He was impulsive, and as things got more and more out of control, he became more and more willing to let loose, flat out asking for permission to kill civilians at the emotional height of it all. Having said all that, I find that Spec Ops' main failing is the turning of the question from the outside to the player. The game makes a wonderful showing of an ill-prepared interventionist attempt, as well-meaning as it might have been, and I do believe it wasn't. But it cheapens its message by making it about the player instead. If the question is, how good of a person are you if you enjoy virtually murdering people by the thousands, it has a really simple answer. Very. I'm a very good person. I have probably killed the entire world population over my gaming career, and that doesn't preclude me from being a good person, a good friend, an ethical worker. This is a silly question to ask, and one that underhandedly fuels the extreme conservative hard-on for blaming games for violence. The problem with this setup is that it's basically a storytelling game with no agency, at least nowhere that really matters. I am all about story-driven games that have a strong narrative design. Have this character and play his role and discover his story. That's great, I'm all for that. One of my main complaints about modern gaming is the unrelenting insistence in the do-it-your-way mentality of sandbox-focused design. No! Give me a cohesive thing to act out. Design your game beyond its most basic systems. Give me a story, give me a path to follow that was carefully crafted to portray a given message. Spec Ops The Line does this. But if you are doing a heavily scripted game that funnels me into a path outside of my control, do not turn around and call me out for simply playing the game. That is silly, because the answer to the question being presented is a foregone conclusion. This is all your fault, as per the loading screen. No, it is not. I am simply playing the game. I don't cause wanton carnage. The character inside of the game's world is doing that. You are still a good person. Yes, I know. However, I am put into a delicate position. For as much as I would think I would have enjoyed the game a lot more without the meta aspect, I don't think it would have resonated quite as strongly with the general public. Because, as I said in the very first episode, I am not the target audience for this. My lack of experience with military shooters actually led me to find the gameplay of Spec Ops perfectly satisfying and fun. I was never bored or bothered with the game. So the point at which the game turns and tries to make a point of my alleged tastes and misguided heroic aspirations falls particularly flat, and it cheapens a really strong and poignant message about militarism and glorification of violence and interventionist action, a point made ever more poignant by recent events of the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, proving, if proof be needed, that this was a war lost. But above all, I criticize the end state of this decision. Having a moral decision in your game where the decision essentially amounts to do this horrible thing or stop playing the game is a weak and frustrating writing cop-out. I don't want to stop playing the game. I want to finish playing this thing that I paid money for. This is like if you bought a Playboy, remember those? And it chastised you for masturbating. Well, very good on you for taking the high ground on my depravity, but you still charge me money for it. So what does that say about you? And I am fairly certain that this is part of the critique as well, aimed not squarely at the player, but the entertainment industry at large. It is a shame that, while the game made a somewhat sizable splash and release, allegedly, it all immediately subsided due to its commercial failings, probably in no small part for what was a pretty misguided marketing campaign. I'd wager that most people that are interested in gaming narratives have played or at least heard of Spec Ops The Line. But nothing has changed. If anything, the industry has just gotten more cynical since. One could argue that the desensitization of military conflict has reached a point such that the enemy is not even ideological anymore. It is simply generic evil, and you shoot evil in the face. Waste your time in live service matches and grind your way towards new shiny perks that do 2% extra knife damage. The reality of things currently is that games are no longer a niche hobby. They sell by the millions, and most people will never engage with it intellectually. The vast majority of quote-unquote gamers are perfectly happy playing the odd match of Call of Duty with their friends, doing whatever it is that people do in Fortnite, or playing a few rounds of FIFA. Not to mention the millions of people who just play mobile games on their phones for 1 hour after hard days of work, of being yelled at by their bosses, or making difficult decisions. Some people just want to shut off. There is nothing wrong with that, and I don't mean to imply that intellectual and emotional engagement is necessary for the enjoyment of the medium in any way. If anything, it may in fact be detrimental. However, I do like to engage. I like to be challenged with different ideas and perspectives on the medium. I want to see what new stories creative teams can come up with. I want to see what they can develop and what kind of worlds they will build and stories they will create. Game development is, and will always be, a fundamentally creative endeavor, which is why I find Spec Ops The Line to be such a puzzling game to criticize. It is half exactly what I wanted, and half not nearly enough of what I had hoped. But I will always praise the game for being an honest and heartfelt attempt at creating something more. Something above simply existing as another game where we shoot people in the face and make quibs about it like what we're doing is somehow not absolutely terrible. All in all, I legitimately love this game, and I am very happy to have replayed it. And I hope you enjoyed it too.
Commander, this is Falcon 1. I think we found him. Captain Walker.
He's armed!
It's okay. Hold your fire.
I don't understand. What's he doing? Look at his eyes. Something's not right.
Captain Walker, we are here to help. But first, I need you to lay down your weapon.
He's not complying.
He's shell-shocked. Give him a second. Just hand me your weapon, Captain. We're here to take you home.
Can he even hear you?
Quiet! Captain?
It's over. Time to go home.
You know, Captain, we drove through this whole city to find you. We saw things. You don't mind me asking, what was it like? How'd you survive all this?
Who said I did?
I guess that'll be this or this will be that for this series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sharing this journey with me. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next series, whatever it is that we may end up doing. Hopefully something lighter. Until then, take care and bye-bye.